Okay, so we are going to calibrate the probe on the Auricle. We first have placed the probe by the probe mic on both sides right here, and then we're going to move over here.
And we're going to show you how to get to where you need to be in the software. So what we're going to do is on this navigator tab, you hit RECD right here. Why is it doing it? Okay, we're in RECD and then control panel, and then we're just going to click OK on that. And then up here, that's great, thank you. We're going to hit tools, and then we're going to go hit free fit calibration, and it's going to tell us the calibration has expired. So we're going to go back to tools, and we're going to hit free fit calibration, and we're going to hit probe tube, and then we're going to come over here, and
Patient is 12 to 18 inches away
in front of the speaker, and we're going to hit start. And our calibration was successful. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to calibrate the reference test microphone. So you can see here, we've got that 1 to 2 millimeters in front of the reference microphone. Over here in Oto Suite, we clicked on Navigator, we clicked Standard Tests under Hit. We went up, we clicked Tools, and then we clicked Auricle Hit Calibration, and then we clicked Reference Test Mic Calibration, and now we're gonna hit Start. All right, and then we click finish, and that is how you calibrate the reference test mic. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're measuring the coupler response. So as you can see here, we've got our probe mic with the tube adapter hooked up to an insert. We've got putty around the tube. We've got the probe mic hooked into the coupler. It's in this first slot here. So this is what it looks like when it should be all set up. We're gonna close the test box. We're gonna come over to the computer, and we're gonna select coupler response, and then we're gonna measure the left side because we have the left probe. All right, and those are our coupler values. Go. All right, so we're gonna do a room calibration. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click tools up here. We're gonna click free fit calibration, room. I'm gonna click next. We wanna make sure the free fit is turned on and within reach. It's going to communicate with the free fit. And that is how you do a room calibration. We want to make sure that the patient is 18 to 24 inches, 12 to 18, excuse me, inches in front of the speaker, and then we click finish, and that's how you do room calibration. Okay. So we're doing the real ear to coupler response. This is the real ear measurement. So we've got our probe tube, and we use the probe guide, and we used otoscopy to check and make sure that it was 2 to 5 millimeters away from the TM. We've got our insert in there. We've got our reference mic facing outwards. So now we're going to come over here to the computer, and we're going to hit ear response. And you can see it measured her ears. So we've got the real ear to coupler difference on the bottom. We've got the coupler on the top and the real ear on the bottom. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do speech mapping. So we're up here, we clicked aided response. This fitting details is gonna pop up. So we wanna use the NAL2. We're doing real ear predicted. We have a BTE, our venting is occluded. We're using the measured RECD, that's important. So make sure all of that is set. We're gonna click apply. And then over here, this runs it all in one sequence. And we wanna make sure that it's the rainbow passage is selected. So you're gonna select the drop down arrow and make sure rainbow passage is selected for all 3 levels. And I know it is because I just did it. And then we don't have a patient or a hearing aid hooked up to our patient right now, but we're gonna run the speech mapping and show you what the results look like in a moment. All right, so as you can see here, we have our results of the speech mapping. Obviously, they're not great because we don't have a hearing aid hooked up to it. But what we would do is we would go into the hearing aid software and we would adjust our fine tunings, and then we would run speech mapping again. So that way we can get our measurements closer to our targets. The targets are the dotted lines, the measurements are our measurements. And that is how you do speech mapping on ear for the Auricle. After a lot of fine tuning in Unitron, we were able to get our speech mapping as close as we can to targets. Obviously, these are not perfect and we would want to get them closer for a true patient. But as for practice, this is as good as we can get it using the fine tuning in Unitron. And that is how you do speech mapping in the test box on the Auricle. Okay, so now we're going to do our test box measures for speech mapping. So you can see we've got our hearing aids set up there in the test box. We're gonna close that bad boy over here. We went into Unitron software and we made sure that we had it set to DSL and full on gain for this. And now this is Odo Suite and we just wanna make sure we have DSL, coupler, we're using predicted and then predicted because we're doing in the box. So we're gonna hit apply. And then over here where it says sequence, we're gonna press sequence and that is going to run all of the levels of the rainbow passage plus MPO and we will be back with the results. All right, so these are our results from the test box measure. As you can see, our targets are way off, so we'll have to go into Unitron software and adjust those. The dotted line down here is our soft sound target and then our medium and our loud sound. And then we have MPO up at the top. So we would go into Unitron software fine tuning and we would bring down these lower frequencies and we would bump up the higher frequencies so that way they can meet targets. And this is how you run speech mapping in the test box for the Auricle.